All right. Welcome to Just a Conversation. It is Tuesday. We're here. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to share. Also, don't forget to go over to our YouTube page. It's simply Just a Conversation. Subscribe. The host tonight, it's me, Minister Hayden. Got Brother Matthew in the building. Matthew, was the intro too long this week?
No, it's perfect.
Oh, all right. He's good this week. But we have none other than
The illustrious
Brother Moses in the building tonight.
Washington.
Moses Washington, a.k.a. Mo Wash Productions.
A.K.A.
All right.
Oh,
Man, he looking stunning, man. He got the hat on. I got to get one of those hats, man. My head's kind of big.
He's sounding so motivated.
He's very motivated.
I'm excited to be here.
Okay.
Ready to talk about it.
All right.
All right.
And Matthew.
Yeah.
What's the topic?
Well, the topic for tonight is, it's kind of based off this man right here.
Right.
He's a playwright.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember it's like he has a lot of thoughts in his head. I'm like, okay, so how do you as a director choose what topics do you deem worthy to really invest yourself in? It's like, instead of because you know how everybody got ideas, but the difference between you and everybody else is that you're able to like, all right, this is the idea I want, settle on something and then work on it to actual completion. That I feel like that's the difference between. I'm trying to figure out, how do you like decide, like, all right,
How does he come up with it?
Yeah,
Come up with what I want to talk about.
yeah. Whether it's what you want to talk about or even what you want to portray in your work, is like, how do you just decide, settle on an idea instead of just letting it run?
I guess he's trying to say, like, the last video that I saw, well, the screenplay that I saw, what was the name of it?
Moment of truth.
Moment of Truth. So
Yeah.
he wants to know, how do you come up with the name of your productions, and also how do you come up with those awesome like roles, man? Because those roles ain't nothing. those are some good roles.
The writing comes from, as a writer, as a leader. Our job is to challenge the norms and talk about things that people don't want to talk about. And if you're not making someone think, then you're not doing your job. You can't follow narratives. You have to be the voice to make people think outside of the box. And my job as the writer is to allow my audience to see life in eyes other than their own. So when you write, you write in a perspective for people to understand others people's perspective. So how do I come up with topics?
So pretty much like stuff people could relate to on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
Yeah, you try to get people to understand.
Right.
I think before the R. Kelly situation, surviving R. Kelly, Moment of Truth was about sexual assault, sexual abuse.
Right.
And it was a lot of different issues that made people think in regards to she being sexual assaulted and getting impregnated doing a sexual assault, decided to keep the child, and then had problems with the person who sexually assaulted her wanting custody of that child.
Okay.
So, but the twist wasn't the issue. The twist was, I painted a picture of a young man going to jail, getting his life right, turning his life around, trying to find his family to make amends, and everybody got on his side about forgiveness. And yeah, black man does deserve a second chance. How can you be in prison, but then released in the society that you're in jail? Then, where do we draw the line? So we got into that part about black man deserves a second chance and his rights as a free man, until you found out what he did, and then all his rights are taken away again. So I make you think about something that's really controversial and just allows
But
you
it
to
really
think.
happens day by day.
Yeah.
It happens every day. We just don't see it with our
We
physical
don't
eyes.
see it with our physical
But it does
eyes.
happen.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing that you like do stuff like that to bring stuff out, and let people understand, like, this stuff really happens. And it's just like you're talking about the R. Kelly thing. Like, people swept that under the rug, and they pretty much like they covered him a lot.
Yeah. I got a lot of backlash on my page about that. I should probably go live while I'm talking about this. I got a lot of backlash because I told them that we aided R. Kelly success since the first time he went to trial.
We did.
In 1999 and 2000.
We did.
Not only did we aid him, we forgot about it. Not
But
only did we forget about it, he performed at Jazz in the Gardens last year. So now y'all outraged and out and upset about something that transpired 10 years ago. Where was this outrage 10 years ago?
That's
you
true.
aided this man's success for 10 to 15 years. You didn't sign no petitions. You didn't do anything when he showed up with Jazz in the Gardens.
What I found weird is that the things that you're upset about now, it was mentioned like years prior.
ago. Yeah, we all knew about everybody in the industry. Kurt Franklin has a song with R. Kelly after these allegations of him, doing some
Outlandish things.
To a young lady on tape, and all the I guess we're gonna say what's the word I'm looking for? All his captives,
Right.
that he has.
Right.
We knew about this. We joked about it.
And it's something like, we all like grew up like singing his songs, and after like watching that old video and watching how everything it really happens, like they like the songs really was like portraying like the stuff he was doing. I was like, wow.
My
Like,
question is, it was wrong 10 years ago and it's wrong today.
right.
Why are we so upset now?
I think we're upset now because we're actually seeing it with our own two eyes. Where
We saw the video.
we saw the video, but they kind of like hid it.
I feel like people already knew.
We read the story.
I feel
But
like
it's just, I think it's just like what they do to us as Christians. Like,
We knew about Aaliyah. We knew about Aaliyah.
Yeah.
We knew about everybody else that he dealt with that was underage.
Right.
Exactly.
He married Aaliyah at 15.
exactly.
They told a lie so she could sound like she was 18.
And then and the mom had to go get an amendment to stop the marriage. We knew this. We
Wow.
knew Jay-Z messed around with Aaliyah. We knew Damian Dash had affairs with Aaliyah. Jay-Z with Foxy Brown and all these young girls that was running around the industry. We did nothing.
But I feel like what it is they wanted to for like the black community it's kind of like, oh, let's not destroy our black men, these are our black kings, especially nowadays.
They
That's what
didn't do that. What happened is he dropped another album and
They
all
covered
this
it up.
wrong was made right.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like a talent.
Yeah.
Somebody get in trouble and then they go shoot a basketball and hit 80 points. We're not talking about Kobe rape no
And he
more.
kept doing it over and
Yeah, of
over.
course.
Because even like he like pretty much pulled in every genre, like every age.
He went to gospel.
Yeah,
went to
he did
inspiration.
gospel. He did R&B.
Stepping
He
in
did
Love.
Step in the Name of Love, which
Yeah,
was like
that's
a
true.
big thing. Like
In
people playing that at
Chicago,
their wedding and everything.
He went gangster. He covered every spectrum. You know what I'm saying? And artists in their own way, sometimes being too artistic, man, it comes with challenges. You're attacked daily by demons and
That's true.
daily by certain thoughts and stuff. And he was molested himself, so he is a victim himself.
Yeah, but I don't think that's something you should blame on, like saying like, oh, because I was molested, that's why I'm the way I am. Like, after a while, you're like a grown dude. Like, you're supposed to know, like,
I think
you know what?
majority of people who got molested blame the way they are because they got molested.
But if that's the case, everybody gonna blame everything on their past. I didn't
Yeah,
grow up
of
with a
course.
dad.
But
I didn't this. I
the,
didn't
the
that.
narrative is who you going to have sympathy for.
Right.
And we don't have sympathy for R. Kelly because what he did to these young ladies.
True.
But he's still a victim,
True.
Right.
Hurt people hurt people.
That's
true.
Now,
for sure.
do I condone what R. Kelly do? No,
No,
it's
definitely.
disgusting. But my issue to the black community is we could have been stopped this man's career. We could have been put a stop to it.
That's
Bro, I
true.
seen they called Tom Joyner, which is somebody I've listened to for years, and they were like, "Listen, man, this is what's going on." And like Tom Joyner, like, you need to stop playing R. Kelly, and he was like, "You got it. It's no biggie for me."
Well,
and that was like they were looking at him like that was a big milestone, like the fact that he said that he'll stop.
I'm
that was like-
gonna point another thing out. It's an attack of the African American male image.
True.
But that stems back from in the Bible, bro, because the Bible says that the enemy's after anything that pisses against the wall. That means man that really stands up and like pee. You know what I mean? That's what the Bible said itself. The enemy. And then think about when back in the days when Pharaoh, he was killing all the firstborn males. Because he was trying to eliminate it,
Exactly.
eliminate us.
Because they have power.
So we've like pretty much grown up in like ages where it's just like they're trying to eliminate us.
Yeah.
So
And-
for us that's making through, we just got to try and keep our head on our shoulder and just keep like trotting forward because it's easy for us to fall in that trap.
I said this. Get my phone. What I said was that the one thing that divided our black community totally was sexual assault. Making people choose sides, who was right and wrong.
Right.
If you was for R. Kelly, you was outcasted.
True.
And people who were against R. Kelly was outcasted because people is divided. Same thing with Bill Cosby.
Exactly.
Now Chris Brown. now Michael Jackson at one point. All our black celebrities of leadership of monumental of some type of substance have been attacked. Now, did they do something wrong? Absolutely, but is it the same eagerness and anger towards these white folks who do the same thing?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
They're over amplifying. Not saying they shouldn't be over amplified because it's good that it comes to light, but it's like a variety of things that's been pointed out on our black leaders, and we're losing our community. We're losing our face. We don't even trust our own people now, and that's the narrative that the media is placing on us. We can't trust our black men because one, we're going to fall into infidelity. The pastor just failed.
Yep.
He was apologizing on national TV
Right.
to his wife, after
Definitely.
supporting Donald Trump.
Definitely.
But you got to
I think-
you got to see the pattern.
Yeah.
You got to see the pattern of falls of African Tiger Woods. Everybody of color. Now let's think about all the people that is not of color been taking major hits. I last time I saw, the 3 people got off from raping that girl at
Well, the one that they hit hard was the one that the gymnast. They hit him hard. The one that was
Oh yeah, he actually
coach.
got locked
Yeah,
up.
because-
yeah, he got like some.
He's been
some
molesting
crazy
people
years.
for 40 years.
Yeah, but he was molesting. He was molesting different
drugging,
races.
drugging.
I think, but
For
to
40
be honest,
years.
if I'm being completely honest, I feel like it was mainly because he was doing it to different races. Like it wasn't
Right.
just black.
one race.
It wasn't black girls.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Asian girls. It was all
The
different
coach from
races.
Penn State.
But somebody
been
said that
molesting
about
kids
somebody
for
said
years.
about R. Kelly, saying that because it was just black females, they
Black-
just
the black woman
turned away
purposely
from it. Yeah,
exactly.
Because they're like, if it was like mixed races and stuff, they'd have been
They'd
like
have
got
got him.
They say that
Of
black
course.
women are not protected. We don't protect our black women. Society don't protect our black women, and they have a strong argument.
They
Wow.
do.
They have a strong argument.
They do.
Rape a white young lady, and see
it's
how
a problem.
fast
Wow.
justice comes about. So,
Yes.
and I don't understand. Like, to me, I felt like the story. He was already charged.
Yeah.
He already got off.
Yeah.
Now it's just we don't need you anymore. So now we're just going to take away all your music because we've been had this trump card on you.
Exactly.
R. Kelly.
They were just
That's
waiting to
what
use
I'm
it.
thinking. We've been had this on you.
Of course.
Now I'm gonna just pick the right time.
It's the same with Bill. Well,
destroy you.
Bill was about to what, buy was it NBC or ABC? He's about to buy his own network.
No, too much power, man.
Too much power.
Too much
Soon
power.
as that, before that deal was about to happen,
I
bye.
tell you, I don't care what aspect of assassination y'all want to go at. When a man begins to get too much power and too much understanding, he has assassinated. You know, character-wise, or his life. Martin Luther King.
literally, yeah.
Martin Luther King was assassinated for
Broad
gaining
daylight.
too much power.
Broad
to
daylight.
creating a movement of people to get them to understand.
Malcolm
You know what I'm
X.
saying? Malcolm X was murdered not
Kevin
just
Hart.
for too much power, but he exposed the Nation of Islam.
You notice that Jesus himself murdered
Jesus-
for the same thing.
murdered for changing the mindsets of people,
people.
Wow.
to get them to
Get
understand
them to understand
and
the
break
truth.
away from society.
So
and
what would you say about
understand the
Kevin
truth.
Hart though? It's like
What
his
about
situation.
Kevin Hart, they tried to do it, but he's worth so much. But they still have that trump card.
Of course
They
they do.
still have that trump card on Kevin Hart.
Of
They
course.
just hit Chris Brown. You know, I think, you know, y'all don't believe in the Illuminati, but I think going into those higher dimensions of selling your soul, man, these people give up certain rights to them, you know, to hold. And if they start faltering,
Who was it that sung that song? It was like it was a white guy too. He sung a song that pretty much saying like in the song like he still has so many. He's like really old and he was still like doing tours. And they were like, "Oh, why you still doing tours? What's up with that song and all that?" And he's like, "I still owe my debts to, you know,
Yeah.
whatever he sold his soul to." So I was like, wow, like, you know, like, I mean, the devil did tempt Jesus, you know, when that 40-day fast, and he said, "Listen, I can give you all of this. You know, you can have the king, you can have the riches, you can have all this, the kingdoms or whatever, the
And
mansions."
talk about the fast and talk about when he tempted and how he tempted him. He tempted him when he knew he was weak. He
When he
tempted
was
him
weak.
when he knew he had a need. He tempted him when his mind was not wondering and
That's
asking,
right.
why am I doing this? He tempted him when he had desires and things that he wanted to accomplish.
Right.
Now here comes the enemy saying, hey, I can give you all this, bro.
Yeah, all you got to do is just give
All
me
you
this.
got to do, I can give you, I can take all that pain away.
Yep.
You know, and then he said, man shall not live by
bread
bread
alone,
alone.
but
you
by
know?
every word.
By every word. So the word is life. The word is food, you know, and this is why people fast and try to more connect with Christ, because that is the true strength that we possess, you know, and everybody's not going to get that, because if we're going to get into the church is losing its power, but it's supposed to lose its power because that's what the scripture says, you know. Eventually we're going to be done away with. People are not going to value church the way they value church, you know, and we're going to hold that word in our heart, because sooner or later the Bible is going to be taken away.
They're doing that slowly but surely.
They don't talk about that in Revelations, how we have to hold it in our heart.
Hold it
and
in your heart. Yep.
Got
So
to
you
know
gotta
the
keep that
script,
word
because
inside of you.
they're taking it away in any aspect.
Yeah, slowly but surely they pulling it away from
You can say God, but you can't say Jesus. You can say Elijah, Allah.
You can say anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everything
Don't say
but-
Jesus.
Mention
but
Christ.
Jesus. Exactly.
Because that power.
Yep.
I mean,
of
it's even,
healing,
And they
that-
recognize it.
that
it's
power-
even in the music.
They recognize
I mean,
it.
if I'm being honest, it's even
So
in
they're
the
going to
music.
assassinate Christ even today because they know the power
His
that
name
he
has.
possesses.
But you talk about R. Kelly doing a song with Kirk Franklin.
Yeah.
I just noticed, like, I literally 2 weeks ago, I was listening to a playlist, and I heard Tasha Cobbs and Nicki Minaj, and I was like, yo, like, I thought my phone, like, slipped over to a different playlist for a second, because I'm like, I know this voice. Sounded like, oh, hold on. Let me, oh, really? Next.
I feel, but it's with music. I feel like music has such a huge impact on the youth and just people in general. And I feel like a lot of these artists have found themselves just commingling with everybody. Like, instead of like
You said music has a what?
a large impact on people.
Why wouldn't it? How do y'all
That's the
set the
The
mood?
devil is the one. The devil is the
How
one
do y'all
that-
set the mood in church?
Praise and worship.
Praise and worship.
With
exactly.
what? With music.
Music, of
If
course.
the pastor want to get you hype, you know, don't. If you
Yeah,
want to get
exactly.
you in emotion and tears, he start playing those strings.
Exactly.
Because the mood connects. The music connects to inner thoughts in your head, and starts you to have certain emotions that come out. This is why people listen to love making music when they want to make love,
Exactly.
because
Wow,
the music
you never
connects.
looked at it like that.
You know what I'm
bro.
saying?
You just like open my
Exactly.
So-
Put you in the mood. That's
when
perfect.
they talk
in the
about
mood.
when they talk about pastors and the aspect of religion, I falter a lot of churches because they know how to control the emotion of the people, because they do it through the music. You know, now you got me feeling guilty. Now you got me feeling, you know, like I'm helpless. You know,
Exactly.
And I'm doing it because of the atmosphere that you're actually setting.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
The reason why I brought up the music thing also, because that's definitely correct. And another reason why I brought it up was because I feel like a lot of these like mainstream artists, Christian artists that we're seeing nowadays, are slowly converting with they're mixing with regular music. Like
what does that
secular,
mean?
excuse me, secular music, like not Christian music.
How do you mix with regular music? Is music?
Music, okay, music is music, but then you have a Christian-based song mixed with an artist who doesn't, in a sense.
His music is
Even-
far
You
from Christ.
losing that argument.
Okay, well, the music they okay,
What?
okay, a person who does not like promote
get that.
Christianity doesn't really even believe in Christianity, but they have a voice. They have a voice, and you're doing a song with them promoting Christianity, and
What's wrong with that?
I never understood the point of it purposely.
Why? Because you feel like
I mean-
you feel like the church does enough to reach those people that need a voice, or you think that sinner that you can connect with to reach. Well, who did Christ sit down with? He didn't sit down
Sinners.
with the priests. He sat with the alcoholics. He sat
he
down
sat
with
with
all
the
the people, and they was able to accept them. So if I can take the word and
And
go
bring it
sit
out.
with somebody to get a voice out, what is wrong with that?
I guess
Like what is wrong? How are you going to reach the masses? You should be applauding it, because now it is spoken. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know who would grab a message from that.
I was watching a concert with what's his name, Chance the Rapper,
Yeah.
and I saw the way he opened this concert and the way he ended it, and the way he ended it was just like wow, like I was like whoa, like he's pretty much like turned the whole like first of all like his lyrics is like so like conscious, and then he ends it on like a in a gospel note.
Yeah.
You know, he sings
Yeah.
like straight like gospel music and ends this with. And the first artist I saw did that was what's her name, Fantasia.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Fantasia was-
Fantasia.
Listen,
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you something.
She's
I'm gonna-
Fantasia
the
for
same-
sure.
Fantasia.
Fantasia
I was
for
at
sure.
Jazz in the Garden with Fantasia, and she sung the little booty music, whatever, all her songs, and then she went to Total Praise and changed the entire
Changed the
atmosphere
atmosphere
of the song.
of that whole song or the whole place.
The whole
Play, my
place,
bad.
yeah.
Excuse, place.
But
place.
she has an anointing on her,
You know what I'm
though.
saying? The whole
Yeah, she
place.
does have
she
an
has an
anointing. Like, I
anointing
feel
on
it when
so,
she sings.
so when you have somebody like that,
Yeah.
because a lot of people know who God is. A lot of people been in church.
Everybody
And
know who God
a lot
is.
of people are just church hurt because the behaviors in church.
Yeah.
And they're looking for, some type of substance or some type of peace. Sometimes somebody to understand and not after the dollar. Like this girl called me the other day and said they wanted to bury her uncle, but one of the churches wanted to charge $1,500 to do the funeral there. I was like, $1,500?
To do the funeral inside the church.
I'm trying to figure out. Now I'm posed the question like, should churches charge for funerals if it's for the community? I know they have to charge because they got workers, but
Yeah.
what is like?
1,500.
How is the church
Exactly.
servicing the community? And I know every church does certain community things, But when you think of things like that, when you think of people don't have a place to bury their loved ones, and then you hit them with a tax, like man. But churches do have bills,
Right.
Just because you're a church don't mean that you don't have obligations, and
True.
that church may be living check to check, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
Offering to offering, tithe to tithe.
How do you feel about even church, like when it comes to offerings and they're asking the church to just sow into the ministry, and people get upset like. Well, they feel like all churches are trying to just pull money out of them. I mean, I'd be like, there are churches that do that.
I personally feel like if you're going to sow a seed regardless, you're going to sow it from your heart. I don't feel like, now if somebody preaches a message and you're convicted and you feel that way, and you feel led to do it, then go ahead and do it. But, I mean, if you're just listening to somebody, because you have some people out there that just know how to pretty much collect an offering.
I think not to cut you off, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I think that when you're part of a team,
Yeah.
And you're buying into a vision, you're going to do everything that it needs to take to keep that vision alive. So if I have a project and we're team members, you know what I'm saying, we have to dig a little deeper to make it work. You know what I'm saying? So your congregation, or certain people in your congregations are your team members.
Yeah.
So when the pastor asks for more money, he's really talking to his team members, not no random person that came into church, because they're not your team member.
Right.
He's talking to your team.
Exactly.
Because the team says, I want a bigger church.
And they see the
I
vision.
want growth.
Yeah,
I see the vision.
Yeah.
I'm here grinding with you. I know the financial struggles. So I'm talking to my team to come up and bring some more money. I'm not talking to people that just came in for the first time.
Exactly.
But for the outsiders, it looks like I'm asking everybody for money.
Yes,
you
sir.
know,
Exactly.
now then you have the part of pastors making you feel guilty if you don't give. Now that's a whole nother conversation, but when I say, hey, come on, do y'all have $20 more? We trying to raise this amount of money. That means team members. I wish it was another setting, you call a board meeting, you have offerings outside of that, but I don't know. But that's my perspective on that.
And I always looked at it the same way, because if someone, say for instance, the pastor asks for money or whatever, and the pastor is not using it for his own benefit,
Exactly.
especially when he's trying to use it to establish the kingdom or build the kingdom, and if you really see a church that's moving in that direction, I don't see nothing wrong with that. Like if my pastor sow a seed and I'm looking at okay, I know it's going towards exactly what he wants us to do, say we're trying to get a building or whatever, because I know that's what his heart is set on. Yeah, I'm gonna feel okay, good, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna give it. You know what I mean? And God always bless those, who openly give.
If I'm broke, I can't give. I'm just
if you can't give it at that moment, you just can't give it. But when you get to that point where you say, listen, I could afford it and give it, I'm gonna give it. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I don't want to be condemned, feel guilty for
not giving something I don't have to give.
And then a lot of people have it, and they be like, yo, man, I'm not giving anything, and da-da-da-da. And then they walk out and they feel like funny, they feel hurt. Yeah, you're supposed to do it.
You had it. I feel like sometimes you have your blessing is on the way, right? You get a feeling.
But isn't your blessing always on the way?
I mean, your blessing. But
always.
I feel like you can stop your blessing.
So how?
Okay.
Like that's when you get into the somatic.
But I'm not talking about just giving.
You said I'm gonna stop my
giving.
blessings.
No. I'm not talking about just through giving. I'm not talking about just through giving. Giving is one aspect, as in let's say you had $10, right? Mm-hmm. And you had a pressing to give. You know what? Let me just get it 10. But you're like, nah, I wanna use 5 for something. So you just give 5, and then you get blessed with 50. But you could have possibly got blessed with 100. It's like stopping part of your blessing because you just.
So what about this? What about open a door for a young lady who can't get through the door?
If you open it,
I open the door. I do an act of kindness. I open the door for somebody who can't get through the door. Do I get blessed for that?
maybe you might be blessed.
Maybe. What you talking about? Maybe. That's doing something.
That's doing a good deed.
So you're saying that if I give $10 in offering, I'm gonna be blessed, but then you turn around and say it may not be in money, but in wealth and healed, but I can do acts of services in the community and not be blessed with financial gain or anything like that. So now you're saying that only way I can get blessed is doing things for the church.
No. Hold on.
That's how you sounded.
I know how I sound. I believe you can be blessed regardless of what you do.
You're blessed. Every day
Exactly.
you wake up, you're blessed.
So I believe you can be blessed. But I say,
see, that's that church thing that you confuse people. You're always blessed.
People always looking at it like you have to do something big. No, the simple things are your blessings, man.
Yes.
And they don't have to be nothing big.
You got to get out of that. You know, that's
look
the
at the
mind
Bible.
control.
The Bible said the lady gave from her mite. She gave from whatever she had.
Yeah.
It never said she gave like everything. You know, she gave from what she had. It was a little bit. And then look, she got blessed. She was blessed. She got blessed. You know, and that's what it takes. Like, it doesn't have to be like just like sin. It ain't no big sin, little sin. Sin is sin.
Sin.
You know, you bless, you bless.
I can't tell you that you're not gonna get blessed. Yeah. No, I'm just saying I can't tell you you're not gonna be blessed. I don't have an account to your vision in your life. I can't say you're not gonna be successful. You have that capability. You have that faith. You know what I'm saying? I can't condemn you.
yeah.
You know, you can only condemn. Only way I can condemn you if you believe the words that comes out of my mouth.
Yeah.
So if my pastor tell me I'm not gonna be blessed because I don't give and I believe those words that's coming out of his mouth, then that's what's gonna transpire, you know. But my blessings don't come
It's
from.
something that came in my thought today, and I put it up, and I said it's easy to trust what you can see, but the reward is greater when you actually can trust what you can't.
Can't see yet.
And that's pretty much what faith is, man. Like, you gotta trust it. Like, you don't even know you're waking up tomorrow, but you have faith you're gonna wake up tomorrow because you're planning your day for tomorrow.
True.
Just like when you go outside, you don't know if your car's gonna start, but you go out there with the faith saying, "Oh, I'm gonna put my key in there, I'm gonna push it, and it's gonna start." You know, and that's pretty much what faith is.
But that's the practicals of life.
Practicals of life.
You don't know what you can do with your degree until you get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, you go to school, you project plan, you have visions and stuff. You start off with a vision, and you work towards it. Granted, people have done a lot of things in their life before us, you know, so you have certain visuals of, you know, of
what
work.
You could do. Yeah.
But you know, faith is faith. So
faith is faith, and I want to, you know, thanks everyone that's watching right now. And yes, Mr. Fitzwar A. Williams, you are allowed to participate. You can put your questions on there. Someone said that a lot is wrong with it when you take the holy things of God and defile it with the unholy. So I guess they're going back to when we were talking about.
So they said taking the holy things of God and defiling it
with the unholy. So I guess they're talking about like when they're the different singing together. You know, like Natasha and
here's the thing.
So you saying if I sing with if I sing
if you
with
do a song with Snoop Dogg, you're wrong.
If I do a song with Snoop Dogg, I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Even if the song is inspirational.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. I mean, unless they want to clear it up.
That
said the psalmists and those who were in charge of music were set aside only to minister unto God.
Man, God is love. God is love. So
that's what the New
define
Testament
love
is talking about. It's like
break down love. You know, love is making sure that you know you have the best
how
well-being of.
Sometimes I wonder, like, how do they expect us to reach, like,
they
like
don't.
if I get a chance to interview Snoop Dogg, I would, right or wrong, because how you gonna get to his audience unless you're in his presence?
That's true. They won't pay attention.
Yeah, they're not gonna pay attention to you
Okay.
if you're just if we're staying in the confine of these walls and we're not reaching out. You know, the people and say, listen, you know, we're having this, we have a podcast, and we're trying to get you involved.
And how would they know?
How are they going to know about us?
That's
and
true.
how people are going to, you know, how you going to attract, like, those people fans if you don't, you know, collaborate with them? You know, the Bible does say, let the redeemer of the Lord says so, but, I mean, I understand what it's saying, like, when it's talking about, like, the words that you sing and the words that, you know, what the Lord has given to you to sing, you know, but, I mean,
I know. I think
in this age you just have to, like,
it's a
open
fine
your
line.
mind.
I love certain pastors who can have a balance, you know, and being spiritual, practical, you know, and being able to reach a certain audience. You know, I love pastors who can talk about social issues, you know, and not always just stay in the Word of God because we're suffering out here. You know, we got black innocent people dying. We got poverty. We got our kids killing each other.
Yeah.
You have to speak to the narrative of understanding your history, understanding social issue, understanding politics, understanding why we're voting. And then you have the assignment to preach the Word of God, you know? And then you have the assignment to preach about love, sex, and all these other things that is affected in our community. You cannot be so heavily high where you earthly no good. And I think pastors have to have that balance. You know, they got to be relatable. They have to step out and really teach the welling and the healing of people all around through love, you know? Not just through open your Bibles to Deuteronomy, and go from there. Unless you can, bring a parable out and compare
that relates to what people normally go through.
It's just so many elements that the church is charged with, you know, and that they have to.
You think that the church is more nowadays has been more afraid to talk about like. Not even talking about academic. I don't want to mess myself up again. More. Do you think the church chooses to speak more about blessings and earning wages and funds?
I just think that's a fad that's going on.
Yeah,
now.
man, church
to stay away from even talking about real issues.
I can't say all churches because I'll be condemned.
Right. Can't say all churches.
Majority
that you hear nowadays.
Majority of church is a narrative.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's a narrative. You know, it's whatever the narrative is and whatever everybody's feeling. You know, I remember a time when, you know, I'm gonna get condemned for this. I remember they used to speak heavy against homosexuality. You know, now they kind of strayed away from it. You know, because I say they're getting more educated. You know, about running homosexuality out of church versus loving them and having them come in the church and love on them. You know, because just because you're a homosexual and I can see the familiar spirit on you, doesn't mean that deacon ain't sleeping with 18 women. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, what's the balance? It's the same sin. But I can see the familiar familiar spirit, but I can also see how the deacon walk when he walking with a limp.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
With his cane.
So, you know, I think they're getting more understanding of how to approach certain situations because
I got you.
It's heavy in our community, you know. It's heavy, and versus saying that it's outright wrong, now we're understanding it, you know what I'm saying? And we're not criticizing it. We're going to stand by the Word of God, but we're going to still allow you to live your life and still be prosperous, you know. And I think that's growth, you know. It's a hard growth.
That's a rough growth.
It's a hard growth because pastors can sit here and mess up and then apologize and say that I'm not perfect and get back into the pulpit.
Yeah.
But your members can't make that same mistake.
Exactly.
As soon as the pastor messed up, the first thing they say is, I'm not perfect. But they're quick to outcast and tell you need to live right by this and that.
The Bible said we all sin and fall short of the glory.
Yeah.
You know, so he didn't point out one of us or two. He said we all, I mean everyone.
Yeah. And that's, I look at my pastor, you look at your pastor, I looked at my father.
Oh yeah, you are a PK.
Get personal.
You are a PK. Pastor's kid in the building.
I looked at my father, you know, and I watched him, and that's why I have so much different understanding because my mom, I was a pastor kid, and I watched how my mom and my dad interacted in church and outside of church.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Seen it all.
Yeah, I seen his life, and my dad, what he fought to me, my dad was just too spiritual. Like, he didn't talk to me like a kid. He talked to me through scriptures. You know what I'm saying? He didn't talk to me about sex. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to talk to me about sex because it was wrong. But I'm going to experience it, Dad. So speak to me. You know,
that's true. Let's talk about it.
So, you know, I saw how the church did him. I saw the money that is needed for the church. I saw how he struggled with the church, and I see how you have to have your business in order to actually run
properly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then you got to understand this, you know, you run a church, you develop ministers, and what the ministers do, they take members and they start their own church.
Yeah.
You know, so I single-handedly watched my dad raise ministers and take away his entire
members.
church.
Yep.
By creating leaders.
Wow.
To just now say that I'm called by God. You know, and if we want to talk some real, what makes you called by God? Because everybody be like, I'm called by God. Let me
That's
just
true.
start. Let me go ahead and start preaching.
And then the church dies.
Do you need to go get the education behind your ministry? Do you need to go get to the schooling?
Exactly.
Like what qualifications you need to be called by God? Because last I checked, I think Jesus studied for 30 years before he started preaching for 3. He didn't study for 30 years, but you know what I mean.
But he was in, exactly.
Yeah.
He definitely in the wilderness.
Yeah,
exactly.
Developed, you know, he sat behind.
Purposely took time to know what he was doing before he did.
But a lot of people get in church, they get a gift, they get anointed, and then they get
feel like,
running. I can sing, I can see things.
Exactly.
I can inspire, I can move people with my voice.
Now, do you think people are a lot of folks that come into church? Well, not a lot, but some of them that come into church, they're led by the idea of having a position, like having titles, you know.
Yeah, you always look good when you walk in church and you get to sit on the pulpit.
But you say you go from minister to pastor, like, oh, he a pastor now,
and have a pastor word. Come on, Doc, speak, Doc. You know, the slang and the language.
They
and
still use that, Doc?
Doc,
they changed it.
Boy, you sound old. You sounded real old just now.
I don't know what I just used to hear it a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm just go, brother. Let's stick to brother. Let's stick to brother, pastor.
My friend died, Eric. I haven't heard it since then.
Yeah, but I mean, learning what you can pull out of the passage. I think my cousin went to and got his bachelor's degree in theology, and we would sit on the phone and we would talk about the word and how it's taught and how it's broken down and how, you know, certain techniques of preachers were wrong, you know, how they was pulling scriptures, you know what I'm saying, and not understanding the foundation of the scriptures. So it's so many things that's untaught, you know, and said that, you know, well, God has shown me this, and then we go into, okay, I can't tell you what God is saying to you.
Exactly.
So
why would you even go there? Why would you bring it
I heard
up?
T.D. Jakes said at one time, like, he sometimes like criticized the younger him compared to what he knows now. Like he was watching like an old video. He's like, I said that. Like, why would I say that?
T.D. Jakes is dope, bro.
Yeah, he is.
T.D. Jakes is dope.
He is.
T.D. Jakes is.
And he brings real life situations like into like his messages.
Exactly.
And
that's why I connect with people.
Thing I like about him. You know, because I wasn't watching him like up until like I want to say like a couple months ago, and I'm like, yo, like this dude looks like he like pretty much speaks to you. You know, like, yo, you ain't gonna always be all right. You know, he even said one time in front of the congregation, like, don't come too close to me. You might get the Jakes, but not the TD. So I mean, we all sin and fall short of the glory. You know, we all got issues. You know, we all got our struggles. You know, but
how do we heal? How do we grow? How do we build? I mean, we're running into the last days, so if we're gonna rebuild,
we are in the last days.
Yeah. I mean, we've been in the last days since 1980, but.
Guess that's the year you were born.
How do we rebuild? I always say that the hardest thing to do is start a church now.
It is. You got so much people out there that's just hurt. You know, and they just don't want to hear it no more. They just don't want to. They're ready to say, I'll just survive on my own. I got it. I'm good.
Or they, you know what I'm saying, or they become spiritual, but not. You know what I'm saying? They don't really have a denomination. They're just spiritual. They believe in spirits. They believe in a higher power, but they prefer not to hear.
But some people just go see the man on the corner.
Because nobody believes in the power no more. Like, you know, I think growing up, I saw a lot of spirits cast out. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Know, some real praying on you, laying their hands. Pastor's not really afraid to really speak things and heal. You know, now it's just everybody lift your hands up and
close your eyes. And
I think the biggest thing nowadays is just the compromising, man. Like a lot of people just compromise. Like they're just like, yo, like
they rather just.
I'm not gonna preach in this because
I don't want to run my audience away.
Somebody in the church
is gonna be offended.
Probably gonna be offended.
Yeah.
So I can't touch this. Yeah. But I'm gonna preach on this.
Question.
Answer.
I like what you just said.
Yeah, you've been waiting for something all night, huh?
I can't touch this because I might offend. How do you deal with that with your plays?
I don't care.
I'm
a writer.
Yeah, you're a writer. He's a writer. Like he just said, like one of the plays that we last watched. You know, he was talking about a man that was in jail.
Yeah.
You know, and he came back and he wanted to be in this kid's life. You know what I mean? And
I don't have no limits to what I write about.
I think he'll get more of a praise than the church.
Now I have to be mindful of what I talk about. You know what I'm saying? But I don't. My job is to talk about those.
Be a little controversial.
Yeah, that's. You don't see my page. You don't see how many times I get fussed out on my page.
Fact.
I talked about today. I say, why y'all telling me to go back to Africa when all my ancestors been fighting here for 200 years, dying and sledding, and we got black people getting killed, and now you want to do all this work that I did here and take it back to Africa?
What are we really gonna do in Africa?
We're not even connected to Africa.
Exactly.
I said that Mexicans come in here and pour into Mexicans, right? Hispanics, Latinos come in and pour into Latinos. Asians come in and spend into Asians, and they're spreading, right?
Exactly. Africans come here.
Black Americans don't have no other cultural group that come back into America and expand us.
Exactly.
So what has happened to us? We're diminishing because Africans don't relate to Black
all.
American.
Not at all.
Haitians do not relate to Black American. And Jamaicans, they're Jamaican.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll relate to some of the struggle because we're black, but them Americans, nah, we ain't American, dog. We ain't no Yankee, bro. They got a whole nother little issue. We got our whole little thing. So we're being watered down. We're being taken away. So what am I? I need to fight for my heritage as a Black American, being black born in America.
Yeah, we need to fight for everything.
Yeah, we need to fight for everything. But
but even
we just men in general. We just need to.
But even Americans the Black Americans have a outside of just slavery, the history of advancement of the country, the history of
outlook than us, bro.
Like the power that Black Americans had especially really had in America, or was building towards in America, like their communities. What's that one black community got burned down?
I can't remember.
But they're trying to build their own community. Excuse me, I'm not the
riots.
Thank you, because I'm not the best with history.
Alabama.
But you know what I'm saying, they were trying to build themselves. And the crazy thing is, what's happening now is a division, right? They're trying to divide black folks more and more.
They did.
They did. So they caused division, but unity is what caused black folks to prosper. Black Americans to prosper is when they were unified, and then they started to divide.
So I'm gonna touch on that. I'm gonna go a little deeper.
Okay,
right?
please.
So
please
you have Malcolm X and Martin Luther King.
Facts.
Malcolm X was nationalism, like he wanted for his people.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Martin Luther King wanted to be diverse, to have fair equality for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't mind sending blacks to white schools. You know what I'm saying? He wanted everybody to be treated equal. Malcolm X wanted division.
Yeah.
So who was right? Because that's the biggest argument. They said that we did a lot better being separate than integrating because now we lost our values. But do you know there was 10 cities destroyed that was like Tulsa? Rosewood. Y'all remember Rosewood? Y'all never watched Rosewood? The Rosewood Massacre?
No,
I'm not gonna lie.
Black City. You got Tulsa race riots. You got Rosewood.
Tulsa race riots I know about.
That's the most notable one. You got Chicago. You got East St. Louis. You got DC. Yeah, like
Mississippi.
Black cities destroyed.
Yeah.
So when Martin Luther King came up with his plan and his vision, he knew and he understood that we could not separate ourselves from Americans, because when we got powerful enough, they're going to destroy us.
Right.
But if you infiltrate, and we're with them,
and we build from within.
Now we're involved with them, it's kind of harder to stop us, because now we can so-called bring our brothers up.
Exactly. But it seems
Martin,
like it went in the reverse.
Was more in the non-violence tip.
Yeah.
Where Malcolm X was like, yo.
Well, no, he was non-resistance to violence, so he didn't pursue violence, but you couldn't push him to run up on Martin and watch how many bullets get put in you. You don't.
He had that surrounding.
You thought his entourage that he was carrying around was gonna let you put his hand?
No, they weren't.
But I feel like
that's why they had to catch him from a
distance. You can't even put your hands on pastors in churches now. So why would you be able to put your hands on? They assassinated Martin Luther King from afar.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't run up on Martin.
Just like JF Kennedy from afar.
And when Martin got beat and hit, trust me, that was the strategy to be hit and beat, so they can show America the ignorance and the violence of. But once they get out that camera, you're not running up on Martin. Do not get caught up in the understanding of what we present and what is really real. Rosa Parks, how many times Rosa Parks sat on the bus before it actually worked? About 8 times. 8 to 10 times. That was pre-planned, premeditated. We worked on that. The boycott went on for a year and a half. With everybody giving each other rise to work, They teamed up. Churches came together. People became taxis, picking up people. When you saw black people walking, you pulled over. Where are you going?
Yeah.
That's how we made it. And because they said, oh, they gonna come back in 3 months, 4 months it,
Nope.
5 months it.
They sat it
Oh,
out.
6 months, 6
sat it
months.
out.
Whoa, hold on. We hitting our economical power now. They taking money away from us.
Yeah.
And now we're spending money. Hey, here, brother, here goes $10 for thanks for taking us, or 25 cents back in the day.
Yeah,
30
yeah.
cents. So now you tipping
who
other
helping-
people
exactly
for giving help and rides. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Now we just took away. Oh no, we got to change.
And I think that's one of the biggest things that the church has lost. Like, we don't help each other.
Yeah.
You know, like, if you're in a struggle, they're gonna try to find a way just to keep you down in that struggle. Like, yo, you gonna stay down there.
Yeah. I think
Like,
the
that's not our
churches.
problem.
The churches had so much unity back. I don't know if it was because of the AME or whatever, because they have one branch and you know, they was all on one understanding. But the unity that the churches had, like when it was an issue, the pastors,
They
Sat down and talked.
they had like conferences of all the pastors and they meet and they come up with strategies to work together. I think Bishop Curry used to run that back in Miami, you know, but it kind of fell off. But they don't have no pastors convention to get all the pastors together and see how and what we can do
to
to empower our people and to
Exactly.
unify. You know, everybody else is just trying to build their church, and when you build a church, it's more financial freedom for you.
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for financial freedom in the church, even though they don't say it. What pastor wants to take on the bills of the church when he got his own bills at home? Makes no sense.
Yeah.
So you're building your church for financial freedom. You know, it comes down to a business. Why you have to preach the word of God, you know, without asking and hurting the people's feelings for asking for money.
Yeah.
You gotta keep the souls in mind too, man.
Yeah. I hope they do.
They do.
Yeah, that's exact. That's up to that's on the person too.
I think that's all. I ain't gonna say that. But I was gonna say that's all a part of the show or the church service.
Nah, it ain't no part
It
of
ain't
no
a show. It ain't always. Listen,
This ain't no magic
I think,
show.
but I do believe. I do
Man,
believe
people have
some people
a whole.
have an idea of it just being a scheduled, like a program, like a scheduled program. Some people, I believe, they
Apostle
do.
Griffin said it also another day when he was on it. He said, "Church gone wild."
Man, it's certain sayings you can say in church, and you know you're gonna get a response.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
of course.
You know you're gonna get an emotional response. I was in Dallas and we was doing a play, and I was in Pastor Denny Davis. I don't know, I should say his name, but
Yeah,
about
too
to
late
talk
for
about
that,
church.
brother. Too late, brother. Too
He
late.
was making
Now we in it.
He's making what, $150,000 a service Sunday.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Sunday.
Hey, Sunday.
Sunday. He had 3 churches.
Wow.
So
Okay.
what he would do, and for me to promote my show, I went to all 3 services. He had
Yeah.
a 9 o'clock. He had a 9, a 10, and an 11. 9, 10, and 11. So the only church he stays all the way through is the 9 o'clock. So after he preaches, he gets to the 10 o'clock. He preaches. And then right when 11 o'clock is about to get ready, he walks through the back door and he preaches for the 11 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? So I forgot my point. God dog it. What I was talking about. Oh, God. Dang it.
Making money and make sure.
Make
Money.
money to church.
You said the church make
It was
150,000.
made 150,000, but I forgot.
For you to get promotion, you gotta
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Now I got
yeah.
it. So I had to speak at all of these churches to promote the play, you know, and it was very difficult because you get put on a mic, put on the spot.
Yeah.
Now you be like, hey, how you doing? My name is Moses. I want to invite you out to the play. This is the first service.
Yeah.
Invite you out to the play. I'm a young playwright. Blah blah blah. Everybody.
Yeah, brother. I hear
And
you.
they ain't receive me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Not
Like,
one word.
dang. So I'm like, okay. And he was like, he looked at me like, y'all give God some glory. You got this young black man out here doing some things, and everybody started. He kind of helped me out.
Yeah.
Next service, you know, I'm like, man, what can I say?
To make them act
Difference.
up. Yeah.
So we got to the next service, and they introduced me. I said, I'm just so happy to be in the house of the Lord. How many people just happy to be in the house of the Lord today? I'm just so honored and blessed to be in the house. I said, I want to invite y'all out. And I said, not only invite you out, I want you to come see something that God has put inside of my heart. Response was just
Immediate.
totally different.
Ready.
That's pretty much anything you gotta do. You gotta sell yourself.
Yeah.
But it's just like if you go to an interview or something, you gotta sell
But
yourself.
it
You can't just go in there and be like, "Well, my name is Moses, and this is my."
But
That's
I
what
knew
I
how
do.
to get the church to respond
Respond to what you were
and
trying to do.
I get it.
Yeah.
Know your audience.
You never
Yeah.
know your audience.
Know your audience.
Exactly.
So in that church audience, I had to,
Yeah.
know the audience and know certain
How to respond to them. How
slow
to make,
words.
yeah.
But yeah, he was making
Yeah, that's
You're making some money.
Bishop. It was a church in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Me and my best friend, he played for the Baltimore Ravens, and they had selective seating, you know, for people who tithe a certain type of money. You get parking, you get all of that. Yeah, bro, like real deal.
Yeah,
Wow.
I believe you.
Real
Wow.
deal. This ain't no.
Wow.
This ain't no game. You know, I went to Jamal Bryant's church. You know, what
You
I'm
make
saying? I was there when he was going through that whole thing with his wife. I was in his office.
Wow.
You know,
But that kind of makes it feel like, oh, if I pay this amount, then I
Promote
get
the play.
special treatment.
huh?
If I pay this amount, the
You do.
tithe, I get special treatment.
You do. You do. Well, why shouldn't you?
Nah, don't do that. I don't believe you should get special
Matt
treatment.
thought about that a couple weeks ago.
But if I'm a pastor, right? If I'm a pastor and somebody's tithing
Yeah.
X amount of money, you don't think I'm going to make them feel special?
But do you think they should be?
All right, okay. You
To
got
feel
your
special.
production company,
You went too far.
and
Nah, I'm
and,
just-
Yeah.
I'm just-
No.
it's just a question.
Just let's
Go
hear
ahead.
him out.
You got a production
Go
company.
ahead.
Production company.
Yeah.
and somebody's giving money to you
Yeah.
A generous amount of money.
every month to support your vision.
Yeah.
Are you going to treat them any different than me?
How did I make you?
I mean, it's a
so-
realistic question.
Somebody just
I'm-
said,
I'm-
somebody
I'm-
just said, hey, listen, man, you get your play together and I'll rent the building for you. You ain't got to worry about that part of it.
You're not going to treat him different.
Just the building alone, you know, is like...
He's not going to be able to sit down
think,
at your play and not pay for a ticket.
Think about the building that you performed in over a month ago.
He's not going to be able to
That-
come
that
in
was-
your
that was
office
a little cheap
anytime.
building.
Touche. You right?
So it's like I can't like when I see
Right.
something like that, I can't. And you put that mindset in my head. I'm like, all right, I can understand, but I can't give them no position.
Who said
It's
you
like-
get
Who
position?
said you give a position?
Nah,
I think
he
you
said
like-
special treatment. is
special
different.
treatment.
Treatment.
Not saying you give them the position.
Position.
They get to walk back there, talk to you.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't they?
That
It's
makes
just like saying,
yeah.
like, this guy, like, remember, he's collecting 150,000 in service. That means the church has to be a good 2,000-3,000 people. And not everybody in the audience.
Like
gets-
maybe
Look
500.
at Jordan
out of the
Scene
group.
Church. This church is a dome. You think everybody can walk back there like, hey, Pastor Jordan, that man don't know how, the man don't know.
half the people in the church.
But he'd have somebody like me on the staff and say, such and such ties this and this and that and that and this and this.
Exactly.
Make sure they come back here and they greet the pastor.
When you
Exactly.
get to that
Because-
kind of level anyway, that money is kind of like protected. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, but at that point, you don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about as for the black church, because I don't know what Joe Osteen got going on with 13 books out there. You know what I'm saying?
oh, he's a great motivational speaker.
Is he
man.
still alive?
What do you mean?
What?
Joel Osteen?
What are you?
You alright, bro?
Bro, I don't track these preachers.
All right, we
Be on
on.
the radio, you want
go.
to start looking at some stuff, bro.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's definitely
Get out your shell, man.
It's like
Bring variety.
It's kind of quiet tonight, man. You got something to say?
no, I'm just taking it all in because
I'm just like I said, I'm a writer, so I make you see life in eyes other than your own. So I'm making you see a different perspective
That's for sure.
versus
For sure.
what I'm.
Yeah.
Because you can be narrow-minded, and I'm not saying that what I'm saying is right. At least understand this side and that side, so you
Exactly.
can make a better decision
That is
for the
that's a
middle.
fact. You're
So
right.
how do you like come to agreement where it's like, all right, this is what I want to talk about. I might touch on this and that, but this is my focal point.
I don't know, man. I don't.
It just pops in his mind.
Yeah, man.
God puts it in his head and he puts it in the
With a
picture.
script, man, you got to be. You have to stay on.
Content.
Yeah, you got to stay on. You got to stay focused to the storyline.
Mm.
I can't be writing
It has to
everywhere.
make sense.
You know,
Can't be all over the place.
and that's for me doing my diligence as a writer. You know,
You do
and
research?
a perfectionist. I do research. I would sit there and write a script and get on page 5 and research for 15 days before I write my next word, because that research ties into that line for me to write more.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I don't just write. You know, when I wrote about that victim, I had to go do research of cases, and I have to sit there and read to make it understandable. You just don't write. I don't have all that knowledge in my head, but when I'm writing these characters and they say something, I'm like, dang, that's gonna lead to this next line, but I don't have information about that. Let me go see the protocol and the procedures of that, you know? And for me, I like to make sure my storyline connects and makes sense. So I have to do my own study. I have to do my own practice and make sure that I send it out to my friend. They say, hey, this sucks. This is terrible. Your storyline is drifting to the left, to the right. You need to bring it back. I got to get those harsh words and criticism. You know, just because you see a script don't mean I ain't sent it out 10 times and got it thrown back in my face.
Revise.
You know?
That's true. I mean, you don't be getting it edited, but other than that,
Listen, even after you do that and you do your final production, and we come sitting there, we go, "Oh man, why would you put that right there?" Still criticizing, like, come on, man.
True.
Man, why you should have knocked her out. Like,
It was a lot. There's a lot of things I shouldn't. I would watch my shows and I shouldn't put in, and I'm like, dang, that was dumb. Or like, this don't make no sense. Like I did a race relation. I did the blue-eyed, brown-eyed experience in my play, and I had white people in it, and it made the white audience feel so uncomfortable. And my buddy came up to me, he's like, Mo, that was just too touchy, man. Like, you're gonna run your audience away because you're too controversial. You have to pull back and find a balance. You have to give us some laughter. I get those critiques. So when you say controversial, I am, but I still got to find a balance. Because people don't want to be serious all the time.
Yeah, they want to laugh. They want to enjoy themselves.
They want to enjoy themselves, and I have to pull back. That's why this show that I wrote now, the nursing home.
I was about to say there is a show. There is a show coming up.
What's the name of it?
Called The Nursing Home.
All right.
Wow. When is that one hitting?
Pure comedy.
Definitely.
Pure comedy.
Definitely.
March 29th. Pure comedy. I write drama, suspense, emotional plays. This is pure comedy.
So March 29th. Where we could check that out at?
Lauderdale Performing Arts Center.
Wow. I'll be there.
He'll be on the same spot last time.
Yeah. Now, and I didn't notice that you said pure comedy. So that would mean like the plays before weren't really based solely on comedy. Like, is it a different experience to do a pure comedy play?
Look at Daniel with the right questions.
The right questions. Finally, look at God. Amen.
So. Ask that question again.
I said, is it more difficult to write your first pure comedy play?
Yes, very difficult.
And why is it difficult? You know what I'm saying?
Because you're basing the story on comedy versus a storyline.
So it's
so it really doesn't really have content.
Yeah,
it has humor. So to hold somebody's attention, you have a small underlying storyline, but it's not as deep and in depth. Like, you're not going to be shouting and praising God at the end of the show. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be laughing. So to make somebody laugh for an hour and a half straight, it's tough.
That's true.
Pure comedy, it's tough. And you at rehearsal, it's difficult.
Listen.
It's very.
I never forget
That's a fact.
that session that Daniel was in.
With me and you.
when he came
Piano.
with the keyboard.
Oh yeah.
With them tight pants.
You want to tell them what happened that day? The guy that
was supposed to do it in the show. I heard you said it after the show.
Yeah. So
you got to feel it.
My thing is, I try to learn everybody's role.
Hey, wow.
I mean, so you can do it.
So I can do it at any moment.
Exactly. You never know.
And never know. And I wasn't in the show this time, so I became the understudy for everybody.
That's true.
So this show, I'm in the show. So
in the show, directing the show.
Yeah.
All of that.
So like I'm usually in the shows, but I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna release this video, but the funny thing is I never considered myself a playwright until I actually became a fan of myself. And how did I become a fan of myself? I watched my show from the audience, and I was like, I was blown away of what I saw, because when you look at it, be like, Mo, you didn't do that, like you didn't do that,
right?
But you're looking at him like, man, and I became a fan of my actors. So I'm like, man, I am a playwright. I've never considered myself because I didn't get into playwriting because that's what I wanted to do in life. I got into playwright because somebody asked me to do it.
Yeah.
So I wasn't trained, and nobody didn't teach me how to write a script. I didn't go to director classes. I didn't do none of that. Somebody asked me, and being me,
you took upon the challenge.
I took upon the challenge. So
You're doing awesome, man.
That's a fact.
So when people say I'm a playwright director, you never heard that until later.
Awesome. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed that show.
Appreciate that.
I really enjoyed that show. That show had me like
moment of truth.
Wow. Yeah.
When did you realize that the guy was the actual person?
Good question. When did I realize that?
At the end?
Not all the way at the end. When they kind of like the
pieces
were coming together.
I was dropping context clues.
Yeah, it was all hits. It was all hits coming.
And I was like, I bet you any money that dude is because he was with like the society that was helping like the men.
Yeah, the man getting the people together. I got
Do you know like everybody was arguing about that in rehearsal. Like, why you? I'm like,
Why are
nah,
you telling them?
I'm jumping context
Right.
clues so they can be like, oh,
Yeah.
ooh, so
Yeah.
you get. So I was,
Some movies
And it
do
keeps-
anyway.
it
so I
keeps
was
you in.
plotting your
It keeps you in
reactions.
it.
I was
Yeah.
plotting your when he picked up the book and he said,
Yep.
"Who book is this?"
Yeah.
Yep.
And he heard everybody be like,
I know it's him. I know it's
Got him.
It was, yeah.
first plug.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah, it was
that was
good.
a good play, man. And I don't know if you're gonna do it anymore. If you have any more,
I did 3 sides to a story.
Story.
That was
Bro, that was taxing.
yeah.
That was taxing.
that was a dope play.
Wow.
That was a wonderful play. And it was
That-
three
What is it, March
relationships. Bro, oh my
March
God.
29th,
March 29th,
nursing home.
Nursing Home, pure comedy coming out.
And your boy Dan, it will be in the building, and I will be. I'm one of the main roles. You
I'm
know,
telling you, man, y'all.
I'm very upfront in this play. You know,
we-
so
y'all-
they can't you
y'all
can't
have
miss
to-
me.
Y'all have to support him now.
Of course.
Don't
Hey,
wait till
listen.
when they're big and talking about,
If you
hey, I
watch-
know him or I know them.
I'm a plug him. I'm a plug him because this is my boy right here. If you are watching right now, you need to buy these tickets. When I have tickets on me, let me know. Hit me in my DM, whatever you got to do.
Dan, you sells 4
I got.
tickets.
I'm gonna sell more than 4 this time. Okay,
And I'm
because I'm up front. I got you.
I'm gonna talk to my entrepreneurs, and it's a lesson that I have to learn. You know, you're not gonna grow big until the people around you stop supporting you,
Stop supporting you. Wow.
Wow.
Wow, I never thought about that.
because you
thought
have
of
to reach out to another audience,
Another
to
audience,
expand
yep.
yourself.
Wow.
So if you stay around your comfortability, you'll never grow.
Wow.
So you have to lose your support to gain the support.
Hey, you know,
that
it's
you
funny
need.
you say that.
Wow.
The apostle told us a story one time, like, you know, this man went to like this house, you know, and they had like a cow, and the cow was like skinny. And they're like, yo, why the cow look like that? They're like, oh, that's where we get the milk, cheese, everything from. That's that cow. And the cow
Yeah.
just looked like dilapidated, like
Yeah.
good God. So then, like, the guy was leaving, you know, after he spent time with the family, he's leaving. He's like, he looked at the other person that he was with. He's like, yo, go push that cow off the ledge, man. And he's like, how am I going to take their only support and go push it off the ledge? Like, no, I can't do that. The man is like, go push the cow off the ledge. And he's like, no, I can't do that. He's like, listen, go push the cow off the ledge. And the man got the courage and went and pushed the cow off the ledge. They all woke up the next morning, the cow dead, you know, da. So like 5 years went by, the man they came back and they're like, yo, what happened to the people that living there? They're like, that's them. He's like, yo, that's a mansion, they live in life, da. So they're like, what happened? When I first came here, you guys was like, you know, he go, we woke up one morning and the cow was dead, so we had to find another resource.
Yeah, that's how it is.
So that's how it is.
That's how it is.
That's facts. You got to reach out to
Sometimes,
other people.
sometimes
But
like
if your grind is if you have the grind, everybody don't have the
Everybody
grind.
don't have the grind.
Everybody don't have the passion. You know, in this industry, you're gonna lose friends. People are gonna hate you.
yeah.
Mhm.
They're gonna be jealous of you. They're gonna make up lies about you. You know, everything that the scriptures talked about. You know,
Sure did.
you're gonna deal with, and you got to have tough skin. And it's
And not only tough skin, sometimes you just gotta look at those comments and stuff you read as your motivation
yeah.
and help it let it push you, because guess what, you're doing something correct when people start to talk about you. You know, just like if you don't have anything going for you, the enemy's not attacking you, he's attacking you for a reason, because you got something going good for you. So whenever people come with their negative comments and stuff like that, just use that as a motivation and just push, continue pushing. So hey, it was an awesome topic, awesome conversation tonight. Our topic tonight, people was asking, was how do you keep yourself from being overwhelmed by many ideas and concepts? And the reason why,
That was the topic.
That was the topic. I mean,
but the reason
you know.
why Matt had that topic was because, you know, we have, you know, Moses Washington here. You know, he's a playwright, you know, and he was talking about pretty
Comedian.
much the ideas. How do you get these ideas in your head? How you come up with these, you know, the productions that you do, you know, and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what the whole topic was about. You know, it's just pretty much, you know, how do
We
you
touched on it. It's,
And
how do you keep yourself from being overwhelmed? How do you just not? And he told you everything. Like, listen, sometimes I send it out and he comes back to me like, yo, bro, that's trash. That's garbage. You know, rewrite it, do something. You know what I mean? And he doesn't get overwhelmed because he looks at it and he say, you know what? I'm gonna keep pushing.
And I
doing?
have to plug this real quick. My brother here is more than just a playwright. You know what I'm saying? He's a musician.
Ooh,
He's a
PK?
He's a comedian.
PK?
He definitely a PK. You know what I'm saying? He don't like to bring it up. He definitely a pastor's kid, just like me. You know, just like his brother right here, you know. He does a lot for the community, motivational speaker. He does a lot, trust me. When I say it's more than one. So all those different issues you're talking about, like, I know he goes through it because I see him go through it. I watch him go through it. So
Yeah, he watched me. He watched people just just make up lie.
Lie after lie after lie. And then he has to, get through it.
Stealing money, messing with girls. What else lies?
The typical stuff that people
that
talk about.
you did bad business.
Did bad
and
business.
Tried to destroy his brand, his name, like right in front of him, people that he trusted. So watching it, and
Bro,
it's like
I created an empire, and it was growing so fast that God had showed me a valuable lesson.
for sure.
my
And you
God.
have to go through it.
That's for sure.
God.
You have
And
to go
He
through
said,
it.
"Let me try you by fire, so when you come out of the
Come outside, you'll be able
still
to
go."
exactly.
So I cannot get you. I can't bless you if you don't understand it. If you don't know how to hold on to
Exactly.
it.
That's right.
So sometimes you got to lose what you thought was it to be able to protect what it is.
Exactly.
What is it?
And to
you
gain
know?
more.
And
Yeah.
gain more.
Gain more.
So
Game it
That's
properly.
wonderful. That's
Right.
wonderful.
When I thought of when I read the story about Tyler Perry, like dude was homeless.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
good.
yeah, go ahead.
It's not good. Hey, so this has been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
Hold on, man.
this was
Was it homeless?
no, he was, but we're not.
All right, we're not gonna touch it. All right, never mind.
Was he homeless?
Yeah.
Was
they
he
said he
homeless?
was homeless.
I mean, what's homeless?
I'll break
though?
the story down for you. He
All right, go
said he
ahead.
was homeless in his car, and then he did a show, and he sold out.
Okay, that'll make sense.
How that? Yeah, thank you. Explain
All
that.
right,
Explain
so-
that whole story to me. Yeah, I don't even.
He was
that
in his
was-
car, and he did a 3-day show.
And then now he's a millionaire.
First
But
of
I
all,
know
you-
what's name got in business with him, TD Jakes.
Max-
Woman Dower Loose.
Actually, Melvin Childs out of Oklahoma City was one of his first promoters, who was talking to me about doing a show. He's the one that picked up Tyler Perry
Wow.
and put the money behind him, and then he tried to sue Tyler because after Tyler made it big, he forgot all about him. So the first one of the first promoters was Melvin Childs. I got his number. Melvin Childs is a snake, but he put Tyler Perry on. You know what I'm saying? He put
When
that.
you make it big, don't forget about it.
He put that bag on. And
Just a conversation with
and actually,
you.
check out, if I could tell y'all, follow me on YouTube, Moses Washington. I did a motivational
It was on
video.
Instagram.
It was on Instagram. I freestyled it. I mean, like,
Definitely freestyle.
just out of the realm. Y'all should check it out. It's about I'm not your label. I'm more than your label. And also follow me on Instagram. I am _Moses Washington, and my production page, Mowash Productions. Facebook, you just type in my name and probably 18 pages will come up.
Wasn't it like I am Mowash?
I am _Moses Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where the the thing is on.
I'm gonna ask you to do some research.
Yeah,
before
do some research, man.
No, I
So-
did.
Come on,
I
man.
did
You gotta-
follow it.
You know what?
I
It's been a
did
pleasure
follow it,
being
and I
here with
watched
you all
it. It was
tonight.
Hey,
pretty good.
this is for Matt before we get out of here. I watched Breakfast Club.
Yeah. Oh, they got dumb research. Oh no.
Bro, I watched Breakfast Club, and I was telling Lynn, because we were doing interviews at the house, and you
Yeah.
was there, and I told you how you supposed to.
Yeah.
You got to do your research, man. You can't
Tell him
come
again,
here
please,
because how do you gonna
He be leaving us in the wind sometimes.
how do you gonna grow if you don't know?
That's
You
right.
got like
How you gonna
I
grow if you don't know?
How,
Thank you
how
for
do you expect
constructive
your audience,
criticism,
your
my
your,
guy.
your artists who you bring on your show to be appreciated if you don't know nothing about them? You know,
Yeah, I knew everything
Alright.
that
Like,
you just thought
yeah.
about.
Yeah.
I was about to talk about it too. His Instagram, his YouTube. Yeah.
you got to. I got to sit here and act like I know who you are. That's preparation. It's called preparation.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Matthew,
Go ahead.
that was a good one. Hope you learned. Well, it's been awesome. This has been an awesome night. You know, we had the one and only Moses Washington
Yes, sir.
in the
Yes, sir.
building
Yes,
with us
sir.
tonight.
Yes, sir.
Mowash Productions, like he said, check him out on Facebook. It's Mowash Productions on Facebook, and it's I am _Moses
I thank you.
Washington on Instagram. His YouTube channel is
Moses Washington.
Moses Washington. Simple as that.
That's his own name.
So-
You good to go.
Yeah, just like us, follow us on YouTube also, Just a Conversation.
Instagram.
And on Instagram, it's just_A_conversation. You'll find us there too. And always, you can find us every Tuesday here live at 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. where we have Just a Conversation, where we say, let's just talk about it. And we just got to pay a couple bills. We have Andrew Smith, one of our, contributors, that's helping us out with this program. He's a personal trainer. His name is tagged to the live broadcast. You can hit him up if you want to get, in shape for the summer. He'll DM you. You could DM him, talk to him about, he'll guide you on meal plans, workout, stuff like that. Also, another person that helped us out is Pastor Kenyatta McLeish. You know, hit him up. He's also tagged on here. You know, he has the shirts for sale that says nothing beats prayer, but prayer beats everything. So, until next Tuesday, we're here. Any last words?
Stay motivated.
Stay motivated. It's been real. It's been awesome. Until next Tuesday, God bless you.
Be blessed.
Amen.
You say amen? Oh, man. Made it. Shit. Made it.